Hi beauties, Sephora haul day. So here is my little bag, and in here I've got quite a few things. The Patrick Ta blush, and this has a cream and a powder blush in here. I also got the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Airbrush foundation. I do have the Flawless filter, and I have done a video on that, so if you haven't seen that video, check that out. But I wanted to try just the regular foundation, so I got that in the color 3 Neutral. And then I can't help myself when I see these little tiny sets. These were the holiday sets. So this is the Glossier Cloud Paint. And you get two colors. You get the color Rise and you get the color Puff. And so we'll swatch those. I've been looking for some more cream blushes, so I'm excited to try those. And then, I got 3 more Charlotte Tilbury products. So the first one is the eyeliner. Okay, so I see this in a lot of the Charlotte Tilbury makeup looks. They do a lot of warm colors for eyeshadows. And this eyeliner, I just loved it. It's like a red kind of color. It's called the Walk of No Shame eyeliner, and that beautiful red color that I've been admiring for so long. So I finally got my hands on that. And then I wanted to try their eyebrow products. So I've got the Brow Cheat Micro Precision Brow Pencil, and this is in the shade Taupe. And then I also went ahead and got one more of the Iconic Nude lip liners. If you haven't used this lip liner before, it's beautiful. It's so natural looking, and it's just one of my all-time favorites. Just the color and the shade on me. I think it really is nice with fair to medium skin tones. Let's open them. So I think first what I want to do is get something on my face. So I think I'm going to go in. I have the Charlotte's Magic Serum. So I think I'm going to put some of this on my face. In theory, the foundation should go with this serum nicely. So one thing I've been kind of perplexed by lately is getting the right combination of skincare under my makeup to keep my makeup from pilling and just becoming cakey looking. I try to really not put too much stuff on my face. So I'm going to start out with that serum. It's nice and silky, but not too sticky. And before that, the only thing else I had on my face was some of this thermal water by Avene. I'm gonna just put a little more of that on. Again, I don't think my skin can get enough hydration this time of year. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is I want to take a little bit of the Charlotte setting spray and apply that and wait for that to dry down. My skin is prepped, and I'm going to open up the Charlotte foundation. It's a full coverage foundation. It's supposed to be long-lasting matte finish. There's what she looks like, and I think, yep, it's got the pump bottle. So I'm hoping that this shade is going to be dark enough for me. So this is the 3N. It's looks a little bit light on the skin, so it is saying to apply it with a brush, but I think I'm going to use my beauty blender. I just feel like it's gonna go on nicer. So let's see what kind of coverage. It's supposed to be full coverage, which typically I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of full coverage because I feel like it can really make it look like you're wearing a lot of makeup, and I'd rather have my skin peeking through a bit so that I look like I have just naturally perfect skin. But this is applying pretty nice. It is shearing out nicely, so I think most likely this is going to be a buildable formula, but we'll go back in and do a little bit more. Oh, that's pretty. So basically a nice sheer coverage, like full coverage, but like natural, like sheer, because it definitely covers all your imperfections pretty easily, and I do feel like this is actually a pretty good shade for me. Yeah, it looked a little light, and I have been surprised in the color that I got color matched for. The shades seem like they're gonna be too light and like aren't typically the number I would go for. So like, for example, in the Flawless filter, I was like a number 2. Yeah, 2.5 fair when she color matched me, which normally I would be more like a 3 or a 4.5. And so that was surprising. And then even this one is a 3. And I feel like that's still pretty light. Like my Armani Luminous Silk is a 4.5. So usually my number would be like a 4 or 5, but with the Charlotte Tilbury, it's been like a 2 or a 3. So just know that about the shade ranges, is that they, you might be lower on the number scale than you think. And if you can go in and get color matched for this, that's probably the best way to do it, because I never would have picked a 2 or a 3. I would have thought that would be way too light, but I feel like this is actually perfect color. Just perfect. I'm taking just a little bit more and see how buildable this is. I have a feeling that just tapping it in a few times is what kind of would get that full coverage effect. Yeah. So just kind of like placing it where you wanting the coverage, and then kind of diffusing out around the edges. That's how you're going to get the full coverage. I honestly think this is beautiful. I have tried this foundation one other time. I went in and I was getting color matched for the Flawless filter, and I couldn't decide which product that I wanted to get, if I wanted to get the Flawless filter, if I wanted to get this foundation. And so they had given me a sample of it. And I gotta say, the first time that I tried it, I kind of was thinking, oh, I don't know what all the hype is about. I don't really like this. But what I realized was it wasn't the product, it was my skin prep first. So I had applied my normal Bobbi Brown face base, and then I put on the magic serum, and it just wasn't sitting well together. So that's why today I decided, instead of preparing my skin with my Bobbi Brown like I would normally do, I went ahead and just did my normal moisturizer with SPF, and then my thermal water, and just to make sure everything was nicely hydrated, and then the magic serum, and that was it, because I didn't want to risk not prepping my skin correctly for this formula. It's not going to be one that I would probably use any other skincare with. I mean, ideally, I think that these companies design their products to go well with each other. So using their powder now to set this, I would, instead of going for my Laura Mercier or whatever, I would go ahead and use the Charlotte Tilbury powder, because I wouldn't want it, you know, I wouldn't want to risk pilling. So there is the foundation. I think it's really pretty and natural looking. In real life, it looks great. I think what I would do is put a little bit of the concealer. So I do have the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Radiant Concealer. So I think, so this is shade medium 5. I'm just gonna put a little bit of the concealer on, see if I can get these eyes to be a little more bright. And then kind of anywhere that I wanted to bring a little light to the face, I'm going to apply a little bit of this concealer. The thing I will say about this concealer is it has a little bit of glitter in it. I mean, it's kind of weird. Like, it's a shimmery, it's kind of like they put a little bit of their Hollywood, like the light wand in the product, because I just noticed that it has a little bit of glitter. So if you don't like glitter, and it's not chunky, big glitter, it's small, but it's definitely glitter. If you don't like glitter in your makeup and you like a really truly matte, you will hate this concealer. But I don't mind it, and I really don't like chunky glitter, so it would bother me if it was chunkier, but it's not. It's just a little bit of something in there that's glittery. And so I think that is, the design is probably supposed to be like to enhance the luminosity and bring light to the area. But yeah, it definitely has a little bit of glittery specks. So I've just kind of put a little bit of concealer and I'm working it in, and it's going flawlessly with this foundation. My goodness, that is so good. It's honestly, I love it. I love it. I didn't think I was gonna like it. I was kind of worried because that other time that I had tried it, it just, like I said, it wasn't sitting right. So I think I'm going to take the light wand and do a little highlight. I don't like to use this right on my face, like directly, because it's kind of hard to spread once you do that. So what I do is take a little bit on my hand and see how pretty. It's gorgeous. I just take a little bit on my hand and kind of pat it into my sponge, and then I just top my cheeks with it, or, you know, my nose, or anywhere that I want a little bit of luminosity, light, anywhere that like light will hit, like my brow bones, top of forehead, on the sides, and then down like that. So that's what I would do. And then I really do want to try this Patrick Ta. So there's a blush, there's two blushes in here, and I'm pretty sure that the pigment on this is going to be super strong, because Patrick Ta does not screw around with the pigment of products. And look at that. I have been eyeing this for some time. I have been looking at this every time I go into Sephora, and I just hadn't picked it up yet. But in my last haul, I got the bronzer, and now I have the blush. So let's try this. The color is a little, honestly, a little intimidating, but I love it. It's so pretty. So, so pretty. It's a matte. It's matte. Like the shade here is pretty matte. So I'm gonna have to be careful with how much I'm applying of this. So I think what I'm gonna do is just grab kind of a dense brush, and I really want to try this this cream. So I think I'm gonna grab just a tiny bit on. Ooh, yeah, that color is beautiful, but boy, you're gonna have to have a very, very light hand. Unless you have a darker skin tone, then you could probably use a little bit more. But look at that. If I put that directly on my cheeks, wow, that would be a lot. That would be a lot. So I'm just gonna kind of work it into my brush so that when I touch my cheeks with this, it's not gonna be like completely overwhelming like that. So I'm just gonna go in very gently at first. Okay. Oh, it's pretty. It's kind of, actually, it's kind of like this color when it's on the skin. Like, you see, it's kind of like a baby, kind of a baby pink. Beautiful. Yeah, I have been wanting to try different like cream blushes, and you know, as your skin gets older, you might need to transition more to, you know, cream products for the hydration factor and just, you know, to keep your skin looking fresh and pretty. But look, that's gorgeous. I love it. It's such a nice, like, soft baby pink. That's what I would call that. And even though it doesn't look like it in the pan, but if you apply too much, you're gonna be, you know, that's a lot. So what I like to do is I like to take my cream products first, then I go in with powder and set it, and then I go back with more powder products to like set further. So I would too try the liquid bronzer, or the one that I've been really liking, you see kind of people using on social media a lot, is like the Shape Tape. And this is like the pen, and you kind of dot it on. I really do like this one too, but I think I'm just going to use the Patrick Ta since I'm doing the blush. And hopefully those would be nice and compatible with each other. So I'm just going to grab a small brush, small brush, and go in on the Patrick Ta cream bronzer. And I'm just going to kind of put that anywhere that I want to bronze up or contour. I'm just going to kind of hope that it doesn't get patchy here. It kind of looked like it was starting to for a second there. So yeah, you just have to, I do have the Charlotte Tilbury matte bronzer, and I will set this with the powder bronzer after I do this part. But I do like to have a little bit of like a cream contour underneath my powder. And then instead of using the powder bronzer in here to set, I would reach for my Charlotte Tilbury. I feel like that's how you get a more fair assessment of, you know, products, is if you're using them combined with other products from the brand, because really they are meant to be used together. So I'm just taking a little bit of the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush, what is this called? Airbrush Flawless Finish setting powder. I'm just kind of getting it on there. So this is going to take down some of the shine and make it look like I'm not wearing as much makeup. So under my eyes, I'm just doing the tiniest amount. This has never been my favorite powder, but I think with the other Charlotte Tilbury products, I think it's really pretty. I actually like it. So now grab a little bit of the matte bronzer, and you get quite a bit. Like, this is such a big bronzing palette. So you really do, like, some of their products are super expensive, and you know, you can definitely find dupes for, but I will say you do get quite a fair amount of product for your money. So you know, it's just something to consider. It's a lot up front, but if you're getting a good deal, then that's important too, because some makeup brands give you very little and it's still very expensive. So there we go. Put a little bronzer on there. And now I'm going to top my blush off with the powder blush that's in here. And I'm just going to use my same brush because I love this brush for bronzer and for blush. I think it's actually designed to be a blush brush, and it's the Angie Hot and Flashy A507. It is just so good. I use it every day. So, okay. I'm going to do like I did with the cream and kind of work it into my brush, because I don't know what kind of payoff this is going to have, and I don't want to risk like putting way too much on. So kind of working it in. Oh, pretty. Okay. Yes. I'm glad I did that, because it is very pigmented even still, and that's okay. I love blush, and it's actually the first thing that it's the first thing that kind of washes off your face throughout the day. You can put a lot on in the morning, and then by the end of the day, it's really, you know, toned way down and comes off the fastest. So, and I don't know why that is. It just is. But I think it's really pretty. It's like a very soft baby pink, healthy, like I just got off the ski slope kind of pink. Very like natural, like very pretty. I love this, and I like that it's a matte formula. So I have a little bit of highlight there, but that's because I put the the highlight wand on my cheeks, but I'm really liking the matte formulas, and Charlotte Tilbury and Patrick Ta are both very on trend for that matte look that's kind of peeking its head back from, you know, when I was in high school. When I was in high school, everything was matte. We did not do the radiant skin type of thing, so, you know, all the trends come back around. They always do. And I think that's kind of where makeup is going again. And so Charlotte Tilbury and Patrick Ta, they're already ahead of the trend. And their bronzers and everything, they're kind of going more towards the matte formulas. So, okay. Pretty. Now I will take the setting spray and just lock everything, you know, however many sprays you feel like. So, the finish on this is very natural, absolutely gorgeous in person. Absolutely gorgeous. It looks like my skin. I would be able to tell that I was wearing makeup, but it doesn't look like a full coverage makeup. I really love it. I think, I don't know how much the camera can pick up, but I'm telling you, in real life, this looks very nice on the skin. You just have to be careful, like I said, and apply your products carefully. It's just some trial and error. So if you try it the first time and you don't love it, just keep trying, because, you know, just try different skin prep techniques and maybe you'll like it. So now I think I'm going to put a brow on, and I did get the Taupe pen. Is nice. It's like metal. Nice and feels good in your hand. Feels expensive. It doesn't feel like a cheap product. The tip is very fine. It's kind of got that triangular tip. I'm gonna go in and kind of fill in. Do a little filling in here. I always like a good taupe color for my brows. I feel like that's kind of the color that they are already. And sometimes when I get products, I almost feel like they can be a little bit too dark. And so this one looks like a nice natural kind of blonde. So just getting some product on there, and then I'll take the spoolie that's on the other side and brush it through. So there's the taupe color. It's just giving a little bit more definition and, you know, structure to my brows, but not kind of taking over and making it look like I've got a lot of product in my brows. So just kind of going in with light strokes, brushing it through. Not a fussy product at all. So that just, you know, gave me some definition and gave my brows a little more structure. And it's a nice shade. Then I guess what I would do, instead of using like a brow gel, I think I would take my Legendary brows. So this is also Charlotte Tilbury. And I always forget it's that way. And I would just take the tinted brow gel and kind of just add to that pencil. Yeah, pretty. I love this. So that is a good combo. See that? Subtle, but that's what I like on my brows. I don't like a product that's not subtle. It's like a subtle difference. And I use this product when I don't have a lot of time, and like in the morning when I'm gonna go to work. These products are very foolproof and easy and beautiful colors. So that is the Charlotte Tilbury Brow Cheat in Taupe. Why don't we apply a little bit of the eyeliner? So this is the Walk of No Shame eyeliner. So here it is. Here's the color. So here it almost looks brown, but it has a little bit of red to it. I think what I'll do with this, because it's supposed to be a budge proof, yeah, it's budge proof. So I think what I'll do is grab like a small brush, like a small angled brush. When I apply this to the outer corner, I'm gonna kind of smudge it with my brush before it sets. So just going right in the inner corner and dragging it out. Just like that. And before it has time to kind of dry down, I'm gonna use the little brush and kind of taper my wing a little bit more and kind of work it into the corner like that. So that's the simplest way that I can do a wing without a lot of effort. So then what I would do is kind of bring the little bit more of the product into the lash line and kind of smudge it out a little too, without disturbing my lashes. Just right along the line. Oh, that's so pretty. So see how it's kind of like a reddish, maroonish brown. That is kind of a classic Charlotte Tilbury look. And the pencil is very user-friendly, honestly. So if you're just doing that technique, it's kind of a foolproof way to get a nice, pretty wing with minimal effort. And then again, just taking the smallest amount. Yeah, you really don't need that much. It's just kind of about smudging it in the amount of time you have before it sets. So it's going to be one of those liners that you have to work relatively quick with. And then if you make a mistake with it, it's going to be a little bit harder to get off. But once you get that line kind of smudged, you can go back in and kind of just like tap on the top of it to really intensify, you know, the color. Perfect kind of like winter liner. And I don't mind like a thicker wing with this look, because I feel like if you don't have too much of it on, you're not really going to be able to tell that it's like a red. But gorgeous color. Very pretty. Sharpen your wing like that. There. But I think that eyeliner is so pretty, and it would look really good with any kind of like warm tone eyeshadows. Or even just by itself. I really love it. And then let me show you the lip. So this is the lip cheat. This is the iconic Nude. So showing you the color here. Kind of like a nice neutral brown. And I'll just apply some. I go a little bit below my natural lip line. And it almost looks like just the shadow. Usually I would take just like a small brush and kind of smudge it just a little bit. And doing that, I feel like is what really makes the lip look natural, is when you smudge it a little bit. So on the top, I kind of hug my natural lip line more than on the bottom because my lip kind of curves down and hides it. But on the top, I feel like if you don't sort of keep with your natural shape, it might look more obvious. And that's fine too. It just depends on the look that you're going for. I always like to try and have a more natural look with my makeup, but there are times when I want a bold lip, and in that case, I may overline on the top. There is the lip liner, and like I was saying, it just kind of is neutral, very neutral. And then you could go in with a gloss or lipstick, and a nude lipstick is really nice with this iconic nude. And then this color is called Nude Kate, and it's a little bit more neutral than I like necessarily. It's kind of got a little more brown in it, but then if you wanted to add a nude lipstick, there is that color is called Nude Kate, and then I would go in with like a gloss on top of it. See? That would be a completely nude lip. Without kind of taking away the integrity of your lip. So if I didn't have that dark, if I didn't have the iconic nude liner, my lips might look much more washed out. This way they kind of look juicy and plump, and that is all because of the liner. So if I just applied a shade like this, it would kind of take away the structure of my lips, whereas the liner is just a simple kind of natural way to make your lips look more plump and healthy. Then the last thing that I got was the Glossier Cloud Paint, and there's two shades here. I am super excited about this kind of brownish color because I've never had a shade that wasn't like a bright poppy pink. So this is the color Puff, and I'm just gonna kind of swatch these for you guys. Okay. This is a nice kind of peachy pink, baby pink, peachy baby pink. And so here's that color. This is the color Puff. Got a nice silky texture when you're kind of rubbing it in, and you can shear it out pretty nicely. So that's kind of just like a peachy pink. And then let me show you the other color. It's called Rise. And you know, you can use these also on your lips and as eyeshadow too. So this one, ooh, she's dark. I wonder, cheek color, yeah. I wonder if you could use this almost like a bronzer. That comes out extremely fast. So it's not like it's a thin formula. It just is hard to get just a tiny bit out. Okay, so here's the color Rise. And it almost looks like a bronzer. Try to just use a tiny bit over here. Yeah, it looks like a bronzer, but then when you spread it, it honestly then becomes like, yeah, more like a blush. More like a almost like orangish red blush. I think that would be really pretty if you were doing kind of like an autumn look. You could use that, like I said, on your lips too, or like as a little bit of shadow on your eyes. I'm just taking a tiny bit and I'm gonna kind of like see if I can put it up in my crease here. Oh yeah. And I'm gonna take a brush and kind of spread it. See if I can do that. See if I can spread it with my brush. Oh, pretty. Yeah. That's gorgeous. So you can use this anywhere else on your face too. So that just added a little bit of peach, kind of a warm tone to my eye. Pretty. Yeah, so this, no, it wouldn't be a good like bronzer. It's definitely a blush. It just at first when you apply it, it's kind of dark. So go with the light hand. But these are fun. These are cute. That is what I got at my Sephora haul. And I'm always trying new products. If you have a product you want me to try, let me know in the comments. I'm happy to pick it up and we can swatch it. We can talk through it. If you have specific questions about any of these products, reach out, comment below. I'll answer you. And I go pretty much weekly, or, you know, I already have like 5 items in my cart for online shopping too. So if there's stuff you want me to try, let me know. And thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like my videos, and I will see you guys in the next one.